Hello and welcome to Nanapod, a podcast dedicated to the fantastic manga written by A. Yazawa. I'm Crystal, and I'm joined by my best girl Kirsten as we dissect this manga, discussing everything from the emotions, the cultural impact, as well as any headcanons that might be floating around in our brains. With this podcast, we hope to preserve a shoujo staple that sadly hasn't been talked about in a very long time. So come with us. We're waiting for you in apartment 707.
They still look nice.
Good.
So, in our last chapter,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so we're on chapter 30 of
Mm-hmm.
Nana by Aizawa. 2 hours later. Uh
I know. There will be edits and stuff too, though.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's what it is. Um so we know that okay, Hachi's pregnant. Hachi's moving out. Nana broke a cup,
Yes.
a strawberry cup. And that's kind of where we're picking up. Oh, and Rira was at Yasu's crying.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing anything?
Nope. Those are all the highlights. That is all the things.
Okay. Um, okay. So I'll just start. Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. So I get a colored picture.
Lucky.
It's of the strawberry cup, and it also has the Japanese. And then translated, it says the strawberry patterned glass cup is 100 yen store. But Hachi refused to buy spare glasses so that they will be cherished. The pain that strikes me upon recalling that surpasses the deep cut on my cheek. Because, yeah, she cut her cheek, and then Ren put a little band-aid on it when she's sleeping because he's sweet like that.
Yeah, and she also doesn't remember. She does not
No,
remember
she
that
blacked out.
happening.
So this is so this is just, I guess, put a pin in the fact that she blacks out now.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a red and black picture of Blast. And it's them being cool, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's such a cool shot.
And then there is an image of a city street, which looks very European,
It
I
does
might say.
actually.
Super European, town. It's a shopping strip, but then there's little barriers, and then there's a bunch of tables where people are sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very European. And so it's the cup, and she's at the 100 yen store, and the clerk says 105 yen, please. And then in her head, it says, when I go home today, I will apologize to Hachi. And the clerk says, please come again. And she's walking outside. She goes to light a cigarette and continues to think, I don't remember, but the glass most likely shattered, right? I told myself to be careful, not to start any gossips. Yet I ran to Ren's place without hesitation. I can't believe it. I can't believe it myself, but I'm glad I didn't walk up at Yasu's place. I mustn't rely on Yasu anymore because he doesn't belong to me. And then we have a scene change.
I do. And it's a cigarette in a hand, Yasu's hand specifically, and it is burning down to that filter. He's just holding it. He hasn't taken a drag of it or anything because Rira is clinging to the front of his jacket and just sobbing into his chest. Um, and he looks worried, little concerned.
Through his sunglasses.
Yup, sunglasses. God,
I don't
I'll
know.
know.
I don't know how he has expressions, but he does.
He does. It's so crazy. I'm just like, this woman knows how to do expressions through dark sunglasses. Teach me your ways, Yazawa. No, literally, because I suck at expressions when I'm doing characters. But anyway, um, he says, Rira, I'm really sorry, but I have to get back to work soon. And she looks up at him, all teary eyed, and she says, Oh, I'm sorry. and he says, I'll try to come back as soon as possible. Can you stay here till I get back? And she looks up at him and then she nods. And he says, I'll lock the door. If anyone comes by, you don't have to answer. And she's sort of like wiping, her nose a little bit. And he still looks concerned. So he locks the door with a flip and a click. And then he's sitting outside the door on the floor. Um, and it's I mean, I think it's Rira. He's thinking about too what Rira said, I think, when she called him last time. And it says, I'm so sorry, Yasu, for calling you like this, but I couldn't think of anyone else I could talk to. I just ran out of the studio. Takumi just told us he's getting married. I just don't feel like singing anymore. But I didn't know what to do or where to go. I feel like wherever I go, everyone's watching me. I'm scared. If people knew that I just ran out of the recording studio, they'd be so disappointed. The staff, the fans, they'll think I'm weak and unstable, that I'm on my way out. But I can't do this. What can I do? What am I worth if I quit singing? And Yasu's like, put his head in his hands because he's looking really worried. And Rira's like in his apartment, like going through his stack of CDs in his drawer, and she finds the Cream of Eric Clapton, which from the last chapter we learned that her name is Layla, and that's like an Eric Clapton song. So she like
Yeah,
picks
Layla
it up.
said it. Layla said in Japanese is Rira.
Rira, oh, okay, that's what it is. So she like takes it out and looks at it, and we see like the Layla with Derek and all the people, and now she's like clutching the CD to her chest and she's crying, and we have another scene change.
I just got a phone call from the hotel manager, says their assistant. Rira didn't go back to the hotel. And it's Takumi, Ren, and
Naoki,
Naoki,
the demon lord.
the demon lord. Um, and like Takumi looks frustrated. Ren, I don't know. He looks kind of like worried, but like Naoki looks super worried.
Yeah, he's concerned.
And so a nerdy dude and is that the producer? Was that who that is?
Yeah.
The producer? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And some nerdy guy, the assistant is telling them, um, and she says she has a cell phone, right? Or that's what the nerdy guy says. She has a cell phone, right? Did you
Mm-hmm.
try calling that number? I let it ring for a while, but she didn't pick up. Why would she suddenly escape like that? Such a problem child, says the producer. She was perfectly energetic just a while ago. And so the assistant says, "Does anybody know where Rira could have gone? I haven't been Rira's assistant long enough to know the places that she usually goes to." Naoki is freaking out.
Yep.
He's like, "What? The scandalous lover's place." And Ren turns his head and he's like, "Yeah, does she have any close friends?" He doesn't know.
Right.
And Takumi's like, "I don't know. Don't ask me." And the sound effects is supposed to be the paparazzi like taking pictures
Right.
because Naoki's freaking out.
Yep. Screaming
Um,
about the paparazzi.
screaming about the paparazzi. It's so scandalous. The scandalous lover's place. So the assistant's like, but aren't Takumi and Rira childhood friends? And Takumi looks pissed. He's like glaring at her and says, so. And so now she
Mhm.
looks scared of him. And the nerdy dude at the computer has a sweat bead, and the producer guy is like, what to do? Takumi, shall we continue with the recording? And so Takumi says, people around here are too restless, can't focus. I'm not in the mood. Such a fucking drama queen. War poodle.
War poodle.
And the producer's like, true. The assistant's like, I'm sorry.
Oh.
And she's like sweating profusely, and he like side eyes her, and then like he puts his hand on her shoulder, and he's like, "It's all right. Your job is to take care of Rira. You shouldn't need to worry about other things. That princess is very prone to trouble." And she's like, "Yes, I understand." And now he's yelling.
Yep.
And he's like, "If you understand, then bring her back." And now she looks scared again. Naoki is still freaking out, and his face is beet red. And Ren is just like, "Geez."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Takumi with your yelling.
Right? Takumi, Takumi, Takumi. And so the assistant is like like she's like crying. I'm sure she's crying. We only see her back, her head's down, her face is in her hands. Naoki's patting her back, and she's like, "I'm sorry." And like Naoki's freaking out. He's like, "Don't cry, don't cry. That person is insane. I'm
I
scared too."
Yeah, I'd cry too if Takumi yelled at me. I would
Dude,
just I'd
right? He's
like
kind of scary.
Be like,
Part of
don't
his
yell at
appeal.
me, please. Yeah, right. Ugh.
I mean, can't lie. And so then there's a little panel that says artist room 2,
Yes.
and then pouring, I assume like like booze.
It's
What
not
is the
booze.
what is Copa Copa? Oh, that's the sound effect
The
that it's
sound,
making.
that's just the sound it makes.
It's not booze.
Yeah, it's water.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, and then Ren is like drinking during working hours. It's
See,
carbonated water. It's sparkling water. It's sparkling water.
it's fancy
It's
water.
it's sody water.
Mm-hmm.
I live on sody water. And so Ren says, "If you care about this job so much, then you shouldn't have announced things. That would upset the vocalist right before the recordings."
Mm-hmm.
Takumi
Yep.
says, "What are you talking about?"
Oh my
Ren's
God.
like, "Stop pretending to be stupid. Rira has always liked you." And now Takumi, like, on the attack, turns and is like, "Don't say that with such ease. Don't destroy my ignorant act that I've been practicing for years." Jeez, Takumi.
Oh man, that's better than mine. That's way
What
better
does yours
explanation.
say?
He just because he says, "Don't say that. I've been ignoring it forever. Don't cramp my style."
Oh, jeez.
Because remember, an old white man wrote this.
An old He did, he did. So I'm so curious about Gokujo. Like I'm so curious.
Right.
I'm also like getting more scared the
Oh
closer it
no.
gets. Yeah, I am. I'm getting more scared the closer it gets. Um, and so Ren says, "Given the situation now, it's not up to you to pretend that nothing is happening. If you really get married, Rira is going to end her singing career." And Takumi says, "If my decision to get married affects her this much, but I can't help it, I have no feelings for her." And his head is in like his hands. Like he seems
Hmm.
kind of bummed about it.
Right.
I think it does genuinely bother him.
Oh, that he doesn't have feelings.
Yeah. Or that she has feelings for him. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a point of contention because I think he really cares about her.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like he kind of wishes that he did
Hmm.
because like it would just make it easier. And he cares about her, so he doesn't want to hurt her.
Hmm.
And not having feelings for her inevitably hurts her.
True.
Soren says, "If you feel that way, then there really isn't any room for anything else. But if Rira doesn't sing, Trap Nest would have to disband." And Takumi snaps, and he's like, "I know that. I can't do anything about it. What do you want me to do?" And Ren leans down into his face. I mean, there could be like some fan fiction just based on that panel. That panel
Yeah.
alone could spark
Hmm.
a fire.
It
Um,
could. I also love that shot of,
it's so
him.
good. It's
It's
so good.
great. he's looking
Yeah.
at him like kind of seductively, and Takumi's looking at him like, what the actual?
What the actual fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says the princess will sing if she receives love from the king.
It's true.
Like a whole fandom could be developed just on that panel
Right.
alone.
You
And so now, what?
you know your assignment, listeners. By next
I
Monday.
really need to take some time to see if anybody has written like is spicy fan fiction.
Oh, I feel like that would
I'm
be a
sure
super
that someone
easy.
has,
Yeah, there's no way that they haven't. Like,
right?
be weird if they didn't.
Right? And so now Takumi like is pissed. Okay, like he's mad. And
He's
then like
yelling
Ren's
again.
he's well, first he like glares like he's gonna bite him.
Oh no, don't bite Ren. I think he'd
Don't
like
bite
that.
Ren. Oh no. And like Ren sits down and he's just like sitting back, like playing with the empty bottle on his knee. And Takumi grabs him by his fucking like lock on his necklace and is like, "You're telling me to lay my hands on Rira? She's like a sister to me. How can I do that?" And Ren's like, just casually, like he's not even stressing it. He's like, "You guys aren't related by blood." And
Right.
Takumi's like, "That's not the point." And now like Red is just like he is gently looking at Takumi. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, but you've always been a person who would do anything to get your way, aren't you?" If you're going to marry a common girl, oh shit. Why not set up a political marriage with Rira and thereby strengthen your kingdom? So now, like, Takumi is pissed and he looks like a samurai. And he's like, kingdom?
Yeah, because Ren's setting up this whole like feudal lord situation.
Dude. And like, Ren is like, perfect.
Right?
Oh man. I mean, since the curry of the people part,
Mm-hmm.
I've really loved their friendship, like, development.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Like, they're getting their own, like, actual development finally.
Mm-hmm.
And so Takumi says, I never knew you would do such a thing, Ren. And Ren's like, I wouldn't do that. Like Takumi looks stressed. What is he even holding on to? Like a little
He's
doll?
no, no. Okay, so in the last panel, he looks like a samurai. He's taken off the headdress and he's holding
Oh,
the
okay.
actual
The
headpiece.
bald head.
Yep.
Oh God. Okay. Okay,
Which I
that's what
think
that
is
is.
very funny.
It's so funny. And he looks so like he looks just devastated. Ren says, I'm simply creating a satirical situation for your ambitious, heartless personality and offering survival skill counseling."
Oh, that's good. That's
Oh
so
my
good.
God, that's so good.
Just
Survival skill counseling for
yep, for
satir
Takumi.
a satirical situation for your ambitious, heartless personality and offering survival skill counseling.
Yes.
Good
Get him,
job,
Ren.
Ren. Right? Now Takumi is like shaking his finger at him while he says, look who's talking. Stop pretending to be a good boy. Think about yourself. You're the one who longed for fame, abandoned your woman friends, and vended your soul on the streets, even though the person who bought it was me." And Ren turns to him and says, "Soul?
Right? Like he vended your soul on the streets. My
Who's the
goodness.
demon lord today?"
I don't know.
And
I don't.
Takumi like casually goes to put a cigarette in his mouth because now he's all calm. And he's like, "You used to be a careless punk. You were cool when you roamed in your little kingdom, doing whatever you wanted to do, but you're still hot in your leading male character role." And then he goes to light Ren's cigarette, and Ren's eyes are kind of like whited out because he remembers the kid in the car, the driver kid, the assistant kid,
Mm-hmm.
saying to him, I really want to hear Ren's soul cry out.
Right.
And then, like, Ren's eyes are soft now. Takumi's eyes are soft now. They got it out of their system, allegedly.
Right.
And Takumi says, it was a weird conversation. That was a weird conversation. Was it? I mean, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was well spoken, but sure, weird. He didn't call you a war poodle, so
Right.
winning. And he's like, why is it that the larger the kingdom, the less freedom you have? And Ren glances over to him, and Takumi's looking down now and kind of pensive. And he's like, I know I don't love her, but yet I've unawarely trapped my cute little sister in the tallest tower. Yeah, you have.
Yeah, you have, dude.
Like, I'm glad that you're realizing it. Now
Right.
Ren just looks forward, and then there's an image of Rira, and she's in Yasu's bed, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it says that's the biggest sin of my life. But she doesn't know the harshness of reality aside from singing. She doesn't have any other talent. I've already gone this far. It's impossible to turn back. If only there was a prince willing to climb the tower and rescue her in place of me. And then Ren is still looking down and looks kind of sad. And then there's the sound effects, and it says Peruru.
Mm-hmm.
And now Takumi looks angry. He has like crazy eyes. And he's like, you should have turned off your cell phone during recordings. And Ren is like, we're not recording now.
Right.
And Takumi's like, that's right, but you could have at least put it on vibrate. And it's an anime ringtone. And so he answers the phone, and he's got a little bow in his hair. I made a bow like that and put it in Nathan's hair when he was asleep once.
Nice.
I
Turn him
did.
into Ren.
I did. I did. He was still wearing like his chain necklace at the time too. I did.
Aw.
Um, so he answers the phone. He's got like little swirls on his cheeks, and there's little flowers around him. And Takumi's in the background and looks super irritated. And Ren is like, "Ah, yes, darling, no problem. His Majesty is in a bad mood. He's unable to work." And he says, "Yes, he's right beside me." Oh no. I mean, I love that he's giving Takumi a hard time.
Yep, me
And so
too.
he goes to hand him the phone, and now the bow is in Takumi's hair, and he's got like a little side, like little ponytail. And he's like, who is it?
I don't want to talk to nobody.
Right? And Ren is like, former prince, the one with no hair. And now Takumi like looks off into the distance at at Ren, kind of like, oh.
Yeah. Okay. It's Yasu. Oh,
Oh.
I'm in
Yeah.
trouble. It's Yasu.
Yeah, exactly. Yasu's involved.
Mm-hmm.
The prince that would have kept her out of the tower and never
Yeah.
put her in a tower to begin with.
Right.
But in turn though, he did put her in a tower
Mm-hmm.
because he gave her to Takumi.
Yes,
So, you know, we have a scene change.
we do. And it's a wine mom. And
It's a
she's
wine mom.
um she's super adorable in her like little mom outfit and her little handbag, and she's like, excuse me, and she's all blushy. She's like, are you Takumi from Trap Nest? And she's like, "Eek, I'm a big fan. Can I shake your hand?" And then it's Yasu, and he's, got like little tick marks like, oh, no, I guess Takumi's here. And then as they're like walking. Well, the mom and the daughter are getting ready to walk away, and the daughter's like, "Mommy, who's that? Is he the singer?" And Takumi says, "No, I play bass." And he like pats the little girl on the head, and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
that's cute. That's cute."
mine just says a musician.
A musician. Okay, he doesn't even acknowledge. I'm you know, yeah, that
Well, I mean, he's more than just a bass player.
true. He's a
Yeah,
mute. It's true.
yeah.
But we get like a shot of him like patting her on the head, and Yasu's you know watching Takumi walk across to him now, and there's a plunk as he puts a key on the table, and Takumi takes it, and he says, "Sorry to bother you when you're so busy." And Yasu says, "This'll make Rira hate me again." And Takumi's got like gentle eyes in this moment. And Yasu says, "But to hear her say she's worthless if she's not singing, I didn't break up with her to hear her say things like that. It's about time you did something about it." And Takumi says, "If you're so sure, why don't you do something about it? Being hated is my exclusive right." Then he walks away. And I'm like, goodness.
Goodness.
Goodness, why? Everyone's telling him to do something about it, and he's just like, "No, I refuse to take responsibility."
What does it say on mine? Hold on. Because I wonder. Let's see. So hands him the key, and he says, "I'm sorry." He's like, "I'm sorry to make you come out on such short notice." And Yasu says, I'm going to make Rira hate me again for doing this, but I didn't break up with her to hear her tell me, Rira who does not sing is worthless.
Mm.
Think of something." And then, so it's almost exactly the same there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then says, "If you have this mindset, why don't you think of something? I have the right to make people hate me." And that's it.
Oh boy, I
Yeah.
just feel like he's just really like he's pushing the bill, not or,
I think
like
he
pushing
intentionally
the buck.
wants everybody to hate him so that he doesn't actually have to get close to anybody.
Mm. That's not super healthy, Takumi.
Yeah, but Takumi's not healthy.
I know. I
Takumi
know.
doesn't want to get close to people because he is afraid of them leaving.
Mm-hmm.
That is like his villain arc.
Right.
And he knows it. He's self aware of it.
Mm-hmm. So there is like kind of a scene change, but it's super small. Your last one was kind of long, so I'm just gonna take us into Rira's laying on the bed, and I think she's listening to the Eric Clapton CD, specifically the Layla song. And then there's a click and a creak and a slam, and she sits up, and there's a stomp stomp, and she's like sat up on the bed and just like looking like, "Oh, who's coming?" And it's Miri, her assistant, and she's so upset that she she throws the CD and wails, "Yasu, you sold me out, Baldy."
Jeez. Yeah, she just calls him a traitor in mine.
Oh, okay, yeah, take a drink of water, guys, because she's like freak out crying, and then um. It is Miri, right? Yeah, Miri says she's like, "But Rira, please, Rira, calm down." And she says, no." And she says, "It's all right. I'm not forcing you to go anywhere. It's okay. They're postponing the recording," because like Rira was like yelling the whole time, but now she's like stopped. And then Miri's like, "Takumi went to the president of the record label himself to ask to take some time off till you can sing again, Rira. We'll still have to rearrange the schedule, but the week you were supposed to be recording, you can definitely take off. It's all right. Takumi might say harsh things, but he cares about you, Rira." And she's looking kind of lost. Her head is down. She's got tears in her eyes still. And it's Mari. Sorry, it's Mari, not Miri. And she says, "No, Mari." And Mari says, "What?" And she says, "Takumi abandoned me. He gave up on me." Um, who needs a singer who just runs away from everything? And she's really crying again, just sobbing. And Mari looks very shocked and worried. And she's like, "What are you saying? That's not true." And Rira says, "I'm sorry, Mari. I'll go back to the studio now. So please just contact everyone." Um, and Mari says, "But can you really sing in this state? And just cry, and Rira just sobbing, and she said, just please don't take away my chance to sing. And Mari still looks just very, very worried face.
Oh, in
And
mine it says, "Don't take away my only placement in the world."
oh, that's way sadder.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, she says it's the only thing I've ever had. Well, that's
Oh,
really
it says, "My
sad.
songs are the only things I have left."
No.
Yeah, because like here's the thing though, is like, okay, so Takumi is kind of like her god, right?
Yeah.
And has literally convinced her that the only thing that she is good at is singing, and that's the only thing that she's been allowed to do in her adult life.
It's that infantilized thing, right? Like she's kind of like a child.
No, 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 I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's more of because I don't think he treats her like a child. I think that he keeps her in a gilded cage.
Mm. I
And then
mean,
it's like conditioning, right? So it's kind
mm-hmm.
of like a grooming effect that you're only allowed to do this thing because it is the only thing that you have. You have
Mm-hmm.
nothing else. And
Yeah.
you've never been given the opportunity to see any other part of yourself
Mm-hmm.
because nobody else sees that part of you. So why would you?
Yeah.
Like
That's what happens.
it is
Put
abuse.
Yeah, when you put princesses in towers, like that's what happens.
This is one of the things that happen.
One of the things that happens, but it definitely the isolation.
Well,
Um,
it's yeah, because like, well, yeah, but she does see people. It's just the only people that she sees she works with, right? Because like when she
mhm.
was saying the part from in my translation about um, running away from everything,
Mhm.
she was at like in mine, she says like she abandoned her teammates. And so
Mhm.
that makes her worthless because she's letting people down
Mm.
with the one thing that she has to give.
You're so much more than that, Rira.
But she's also in a position that like her talent in what she does actively supports everybody underneath her. She really is at the top of
Mhm.
that like pyramid, right?
Yeah.
Like the entire franchise of Trap Nest wouldn't exist without her.
Mhm.
Like she is Trap Nest. I mean, sure, Takumi is Trap Nest, but she is like the image of Trap Nest.
Mhm. That's like every what like lead
He
singer.
curates everything for her,
Yeah. While also, you can only
grooming her.
sing. Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say like, like she works with all these other coworkers, and I'm still going with the Rapunzel analogy to where I'm like, I mean, she only saw Mother Gothel and the prince, you
Right.
know. She didn't see anyone else beyond that. It's kind of the same thing with her coworkers
Yeah. I
or the
mean, she sees
team.
the world.
True, but like how much of it isn't she always like kind of holed up in hotel rooms because of the
Yeah,
paparazzi?
it's like touring. Like she knows what the world is,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
An endless tour, endless concert circuit.
Right. Work.
Work.
But like she sees the world. She sees crowds of people, she sees places, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um so yeah, there is like the tower effect to it, definitely. But that's why it's more of a gilded cage.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
You
cage
can,
gets to be moved.
right.
The cage it doesn't just stay in one place.
That's why
But she
it's
can't leave it.
yeah, it's a little cage. You put on a lanyard, you take it with you. That's my read.
We have a scene change and it's Nana. And she looks like, I don't know, kind of mischievous, kind of annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
She has like the weird little thing that means that like a vein is popping out of her forehead.
Mm-hmm. She's sick.
Um, and she says, "This store is pissing me off. Don't play trap nest music. Please change the station. You're ruining your delicious ramen." And Nobu like pushes pushes her and he's like, "We're going to be done soon." embarrassed. And he's like, it's completely normal for the radio station to play the most popular songs. Besides, you should respect the songs that Ren composes. And she turns her head, and they're kind of like their cartoony chibi selves. And she says, Ren didn't compose this track. And Nobu's like dot 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 with like ramen noodles hanging out of his mouth. And then he says, shouldn't you go see the doctors? Nana's like, doctor? Loss of memory isn't a small thing, Nana. Don't be shy. I can come with you. And she's like, no, stop saying that I have problems. Where are your manners? I mean, he says, but you said it yourself. You thought something wasn't right. There might be something in your brain. You should check it out or check it to make sure.
There might
Nana's
be
like,
something
there
in
might be
your
something in your
brain.
brain.
Like what?
Good humor.
Oh no.
You know, something in there besides the brain.
Like like that song, like that zombie book that I read where they were all like they put a tapeworm in their body and it like slowly ate up to their brain.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't finish that series, but it was an interesting zombie concept.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Tapeworms creep me the fuck out. I remember when I learned about tapeworms. I was very little.
Ooh.
And so then a little kid understanding of a tapeworm,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's not good.
No.
Good as an adult with the real understanding. But then like as a small child when words aren't really words yet and things don't really, equate to what they are in, you know, human life yet, it's not
Hmm.
good. Not good.
Yeah, it was this weird. So, like, the reason everyone had the tapeworm is because the pharmaceutical company that manufactured it made the tapeworm like have the ability to distill like your medication and stuff like
Thing.
that. Yeah.
No, no, no. Like there was a time when people were selling weight loss tapeworms in capsules. So that's probably where
Oh,
they got the idea,
yeah, yeah.
the
That for
inspiration.
sure, right?
Yeah.
No, do not swallow tapeworms.
Yeah, but that was like a thing.
It's so
You could
crazy.
like order it in the mail.
I'm so glad we live in a world where we can order tapeworms in the
I think it was
mail.
like the 90s. It's
Yeah,
probably when I
because
learned about tapeworms.
yep,
Um,
it's such a 90s thing. Like those freaking suits that you wear, and it was supposed to like you were supposed to sweat all your fat off.
oh
Just
my
like track
God.
suits made of like, I don't know, aluminum foil. I don't
The 90s were weird. I miss it.
know. Me
I miss
too,
I
dude.
miss the 90s. I miss the 90s. The 90s were bizarre.
I know, I miss that weird shit. I really do.
Same. Same. I mean, we all thought that the computers were gonna kill the world.
We did. We did.
The Y2K scare, like that was the end of the 90s. It was an apocalypse. Like we were convinced. Everyone was
Yeah.
convinced.
Hmm.
Anyway,
But
Nana
this is
looks
not,
sad.
yeah, not as sad.
And she says, I'm perfectly fine. Maybe she time jumped.
Oh, oh, uh-oh.
Uh-oh, part of the time rift, the Yozua versus
Yeah,
time rift.
yeah, we've had two. She could have jumped, she blacked out,
Maybe
and went to the
because
other
like
one.
it's maybe the blackout points though are from the time rift.
Nana the time traveler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they
I
could
can
be
dig it.
like caused from the time rift.
That's actually that's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Don't mess with time, people.
Don't mess with time.
Mess with
She says
time.
I'm perfectly fine.
Sure you
If
are.
I knew this was gonna happen, I wouldn't have told you. Nobu is back there and he just says annoyed, annoyed, annoyed. And she's like, thank you for paying. I will keep my promise. Go ahead. Rant all you want. And he's like, no need. If I tell you, I'd just expose the wound again. So now she grabs him by the tie and like she's like desperate. I mean, she's like angry desperate. But I would say
Hmm.
not angry at all. She's just desperate, but kind of yelling. And says, but I want to listen. Why did it all turn like this in just one night? And he like looks like nervous and he's like, into what? And then there's a bunch of dots and she's just like staring him down. And then she says, "You don't know? What did you do after that?" And he's like, "What about you, huh?" And then says, "Something big happened to Hachi. And where did you go? You were gone for the whole morning. You're way too heartless." And then she's like looking at him like she's being called out.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "If you were truly her friend, you would have rushed to her side and listened to what she has to say." And now she looks sad because he's calling her out. That's brutal.
Yeah, but also
Um,
that's what you said.
that's what I said. It's what I said. I'm Nobu. Um,
Right?
I'm
You're not a golden retriever though. Okay.
not a golden retriever.
No.
And then it says, "In front of me, all she did was cry and apologize. She didn't say anything else." And Nana's like, "You went to see her, but you two are both," and he's like, "But you two are both girls. She might actually be honest with you." And then Nana's like, kind of yelling, maybe. I think she's just talking loud, like talking big.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's yelling. I think she's talking big. Um, but I was there this morning and she didn't say anything to me. It was all Takumi talking. And then Nobu looked up at her and says, "What did he say?" Nana looks down. And then Nobu closed his eyes and said, "It's okay. Just tell me. Nothing is going to surprise me."
You, you
Uh,
say
you say
you
that, but
that,
Nana then
right?
tells him they're getting married, and he looks like he's in shock. He's in shock.
Right? Like I
Like,
was wrong.
what do you mean nothing would?
He didn't expect that. So it's okay.
And Nana's like, "You're surprised after all, aren't you?" It's absolutely ridiculous. And he still looks shocked. And now she's looking at him and says, "I'm sorry, Nobu. Are you all right?" And he's like, I'm fine. The way Nana acted yesterday, I knew it was over between us." And Nana's like looking up at him. And he says, in the end, the one she loved the most was still Takumi. I
Oh,
knew since the beginning.
yeah.
But Nobu, everyone calls her Hachi.
Yeah.
Then Nobu says, "But I'm supposed to be part of this too. Why am I always the last one to know? Am I really that untrustworthy?" And then it's Nana looking down, and then it's Hachi smiling in like her little bathrobe thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they both look really sad. Like
Yeah.
sad. And then Nana grabs him by the shoulders and he's like, "Cry it out, Nobu." And he's like, "Huh?" And so then she
What?
grabs him and she's like, "Cry on my chest." So dramatic. And he pushes her away and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Don't be embarrassed. We have such a strong bond." "But everyone's watching. So what? Stop pretending to be a hero when you have such a small body." It's like, "Stop commenting on my height. At least I'm taller than you." She's like, "I know that. And your heart is 10 times bigger than mine." And now she's like yelling at him. "Before I met you, no one deserved my trust, and I hated everyone. And then after you appeared," and he's like looking at her, and it says, "Terashima-kun, thank you for these." And it's her with the CD stack giving them back in high school. Um, and she says, "How could you say that? You are not trustworthy, Nobu." And she grabs him and says, "Don't lose your courage and heroism just because you're dumped by a girl." And he looks kind of shocked and she's crying. And now he has like a nice smile because in reality, Nana needed to cry.
Mm-hmm.
And And then he says, "Your wristbands are digging into my neck."
Right.
Because she's got all the spikes. She's got all the spikes on her bracelets. And then we have like thought boxes, and it says compared to Ren's, Nobu's body is gentler and not much skinnier. He did not tremble. I was going to lend him a shoulder to cry on, but I ended up borrowing his. I owe Nobu so much. And then it's all these like bubbles of memories of their friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I still lack the courage to restore my friendship with Hachi. The strawberry pattern cups, I'll bring it to Ren's for now. And then it says search magazine, photography department, and we have a scene change.
Mm-hmm. All the papers are being thrown at this guy. All the Russell, Russell, Russell.
And he's
Just
wearing a hat.
he's wearing a hat. It's this guy, because here we go. Um, and this editor dude, and he's like, you staked out his pad for a month and you couldn't get one photo of them together. So this is the paparazzi that Naoki's been freaking out about. This is them. I hate these guys. So we see like all the pictures that got thrown at him. It's like one of Nana, like outside Ren's place, and then just another one of her, and then Ren in his car, and just one of Ren's car. And our little hat boy over here is like their schedules conflict, so they don't cross paths very often, and they don't go out anywhere together at all. And the editor like grabs him and he's like, "No more excuses. They probably spotted you and got smart. Why do I hire such idiots?"
In mine it says, how dare you? Your useless stalking skills must have alarmed them. A bunch of useless idiots.
You can't be alarmed if the stalking skills are useless.
Right?
Just saying.
Oh man.
Uh, and then he like picks up the two pictures of like, Ren and Nana. It looks like they're like facing away from each other. And he's like, so why don't you just write the story using shots of them taken separately? And the editor says, not good enough. And he's like, you want someone else to break this story? And then he's thinking, and Karata, that's his name. He says, Karata, I'm sending you to dig something up in their hometown. And Karata says, what? And the editor says, Trapnest is recording in the studio all week. There's no point sticking them out.
I feel like they make up names in your version because like the Rira's assistant doesn't have a name. This guy doesn't have a name.
Oh, okay. I guess we gotta,
Yeah.
you know, gotta have some kind of name, I guess.
No, no.
No, no names. Um, and he's handing him a packet that's like a confidential. And he says, in the meantime, you hit up every dive that's got any connection to Ren Hanjo and Nana Osaki. And Karata's thinking, give me a break. And the editor says, Gaia seems to be dropping the ball with Blast's major label debut, but this will still be the hottest gossip around. I'll shoot up some big firework, or yeah, I'll shoot up some big fireworks. It'll instantly
Foreshadowing.
Right. It'll instantly throw Blast in the ring with Trap Nest. And then it's just a shot of Nana and Ren, and it says, you should be thanking me, Miss Nana Osaki. Let's start the ultimate battle of the bands. And there's a scene change.
It says this is the beginning of a fierce battle. Fierce battle. And then it
Fierce
says,
battle.
Komatsu-san, you have a message. It's apartment 707, and it's to Nana, and it's a piece of paper, and it's in regard to the apartment. And I did a bunch of research before this episode on Japan, like the drop of the yen and the comparison of what it would cost today versus what it would cost then, and then what it would cost if inflation happened naturally like it does in the States. So
That's good, because I looked up the cost of this the other night, and I was like, that can't be right. And I
it
was
is
like,
now,
okay, because I'm like,
but in translation to what our dollar is with the yen dropping, but it doesn't convert backwards the same way.
mm-hmm.
Right. So it says Komatsu Nana, a guide to your new residence. Please give us a phone call anytime After viewing this, we look forward to hearing from you in the future, broker. And then it's a 3-bedroom apartment, right?
Yep, Nate
Um,
looked at the floor plan. He's like, "That's a 3 bed." He's like, "Actually, this place is huge." And
it's huge.
I was like, "Of
And
course
it's
it is."
and her eyes get big because it says 100,000 yen. Okay, so what this breaks down to. Okay. So if we convert it just simply today, it would be about $700, right? But if we converted the apartment that she currently lives in with Nana, that works out to less than it's $388,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that is a jump even in general, okay? And then we also have to
Mm-hmm.
remember it's the year 2000, okay?
Right.
So if we would have converted it how I used to, like back in the day, we would just move it over. This apartment would be $1,000.
Right.
Just simply, right? Straight across the board. Now, I looked up what like penthouse apartments in Japan are running right now. Just a decent private apartment, which is not as nice as this one, for a 2-bedroom is close to $2,000, right? And that's actually comparable to what an apartment costs where I live.
Mm.
Okay. Um, but you have to remember the yen has been dropping. Like the yen is bad dropping, right? So when we convert it to like US money, 100,000 yen is like what, 800, like not even 800, it's like $780, right? But like in comparison to what that would actually cost is probably closer to like 4 grand, maybe five, maybe more, depending on how nice it is, right?
Yeah, because I found like a little converty thingy, which is why I was like, this can't be right because I just typed it in and it was
Mhm.
like 7,000, and I'm like, that's steep. That's
I would
so
say that that's
much.
actually probably what it would cost.
That's so much.
Yeah. I mean, but he's also like in a famous band. So like that's not a lot of money.
True.
I would say he's probably going to drop like 10,000 a month on it.
Oh my God. No.
Which I mean, like that's what you would pay for like an apartment in LA that's nice.
I know. It's
And not even like a
ridiculous.
super nice one.
Mm-mm.
I've seen
Nope.
them cost more, you know? The sky is the limit. So like, but that's why she's shocked. Is it's like really nice. And she's like in a $700 apartment.
Mm-hmm. Which is also really nice, just more modest.
I mean, it's super cute, but like it's not new, it's not fancy. It's, she's moving to an apartment that has like security,
Mm-hmm. A lot of
like
stuff.
a doorman.
That's probably what the price tag is for the
Oh yeah, it's
security.
that combination of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So then it goes, we have a scene change.
We do, and it's the recording studio, um, and it's Nana doing the fade out, I guess. She says, "Hey Hachi, I was hostile towards Trapnest because I was jealous of Rira, who stole Ren's heart. Not romantically, but as a lead singer. I just wanted to be as big as Ren. I never meant to make them my enemy." And we have a picture of Rira in the studio just singing her little heart out. And the producer says, "It's so beautiful. This will sell way more than 1 million." Um,
Oh, in mine it says a song like this deserves more than just the number one slot on the charts.
that's nicer. The other one
Yeah.
sounds like, this is super great. We're definitely going to make a lot of money. Um, and then Ren is there and he's looking like, ugh. He's looking at Takumi and he goes, "How hard are you going to push her? You're more like a bad magistrate than an evil emperor."
Whoa, yours says so much more than mine.
Right?
Mine just says how much longer until you stop pushing her, and then he says, "What are you trying to say?" That's it.
No, no, he's a bad magistrate.
They're really running with that theme, aren't they?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, because then yeah, Takumi goes, "What are you talking about?" And get off your Edo period kick. And Naoki's just back there with a question mark. Like,
Oh my
what?
God, no, they're running with it. Like mine just that was it, just those 2 lines.
Nope. They're
And
leaning
Naoki
in.
is confused.
Mm-hmm. It's like
But yeah.
I didn't observe your Edo period conversation. And then Ren's like all gentle eyes, and Takumi's just full on work mode face. And shot of Rira singing, and then Ren with a little sweat drop says, "At least let me back her up with guitar since I can't hug her." And Takumi looks at him and is just smiling. And then it's Nana's voice again. It says, "But since the day you were taken away, I was determined to crush them. I was going to steal you back." And we get a shot of the two bands, and I don't know if what is she doing? Like Rira, it almost looks like Rira's offering Ren like a juice box or something.
I think it's
And
like a
he's
yeah, it's something with a straw.
yeah, and he's there with his guitar, and Naoko's back there laughing, and Takumi's just like sulking off in the corner with his guitar. Um, and then it's the other band, Black Stones.
Blast.
Yeah, Blast, and and they're like going over sheet music together, and Yasu's just like, yeah, no, they're all looking at their sheet music, all
Yep,
separately.
they're actually practicing.
Mm-hmm. Not recording, but yeah. And then the last part is like at any cost. She's gonna steal her back at any cost, and we get a picture of the Tokyo skyline.
And mine doesn't say at any cost. It doesn't. No, it says no matter what. That's what it is. No matter what, I
No
will
matter
steal
what,
you back.
I'll steal you back. And then we have a picture of like Noble on the side here, looking adorable with his little eye patch and his little punk gear. Super cute. I thought to myself when I saw this, I'm like, I could dress Nate up like this. He'd be super cute. And that's the end of the chapter.
We have comments.
Oh, I'm ready. Get it, get it, get it.
The first one is in addition to these types of stories, you will also like this one thumbs up with a link. And I'm like,
Okay.
I kind of want to know what it is, but like I'm also kind of scared to open it in case it's like a virus.
Right. I'm like, is it porn? Is it virus porn? Is
But it has 21 likes.
for the virus porn? I don't
I'm
know.
gonna see if it's virus porn.
Okay. Oh, wish you luck over here.
I mean, I have things that make it, so it'll be like, no, this contaminated.
Right, right.
It's a dead link.
Oh,
Okay.
see?
Yeah, it's a dead link. Well, that sucks. Anyway, Mika says, please steal her back. Leah,
Mm.
one of our regulars, says, wait, is she talking about Ren or Nana? I'm confused because before that she was referring to Ren. And then it has 2 dislikes. And I'm like, I think she's talking about Hachi. But Strawberry, there's no reason to dislike it just because you're butthurt because this person called you out in the last chapter.
Right.
Don't think we forgot.
Oh
Um,
no. Oh no.
and then it's like some random animator says Takumi ate the bat.
What? What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
I,
And then Vampire Rose says, bro, this manga is stacking problems on top of each other like Legos.
uh-huh.
And then Leah says, bro, I fucking love Nana O. She's such a great character. And guess who unliked it?
Not strawberry.
Strawberry.
Oh, okay.
Yep. There's no our favorite troll Hachi this week.
Ah, interesting.
I'm sad.
Because Nobu exists in this chapter.
Maybe.
They usually come for him.
I know they usually come for him. Maybe it's because they know they'll get dragged.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of all the drama from last chapter.
Maybe.
There was that's all the comments.
Oh,
I
all
know.
right.
I know.
No.
I
No.
know. I'm like, wait, where's the rest? That's it? Okay. Everybody's
Excuse
exhausted
me.
from last chapter. That's why.
Right, where's the tea? Oh, I'm like, really? You guys haven't begun to be exhausted yet.
Great. Yeah, they're tired from last chapter. I'm sure of it.
That's fair.
I want to see
And
if next chapter has any good amount. So I'm like, no, but I want Troll Hachi back. I mean, I hate you, but like, please.
be here for our entertainment at the very least.
What if they gave up? What if they just like threw in the towel and stopped reading?
then everyone who has backclapped them will have won the internet.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot next, but there's actual conversation, and our favorite troll Hachiko is back next week.
Oh man.
And like it's just the same. It's just the same. It's just more of the same.
It's just mid.
Yep.
Nobu is mid, of course.
No, 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 no. Yep. Oh, there it is.
I was like, are you sure?
Nope, there it is at the end. At the
Oh.
end. But yeah, I mean, I would say that this chapter is actually a really good chapter, and like it starts to really flush out where people are at a little bit more than I think in last chapters.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like their friendships,
Mm-hmm.
like their existing friendships. Like character, this is a great chapter for character development.
Yeah. Y- You know what I you know what I wish? I wish that Rira could meet Hachi. That's what I wish.
Yeah, I guess they really don't ever in
Mm-mm. Yeah, they really don't. And I was like, I felt that ever since I like read it. I'm just because she's really worried, like, oh no, but, like, I'm losing Takumi forever. And I'm like, if you could like meet Hachi though, like
but maybe that's intentional.
it might be. But if you're
Because
not,
like Naoki and Ren both know Hachi.
mm-hmm, and she doesn't, and it's
So
kind of weird.
yeah, but that's also probably by design on
Mm-hmm.
Takumi's part,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I mean, that makes sense, I think.
yeah.
Anyway,
I
yeah.
don't know. I think Rira would feel differently about the situation. She may be like, oh, just because Tachi's sweet. I don't know.
Hachi is sweet. I think that they would get along really, really well. I don't know if she necessarily would feel differently about the situation. I think
Hmm.
that it might actually complicate her feelings more.
Mm. Who knows?
Hmm.
Because it never happens.
Yeah, I think it might actually complicate how she feels more. Yeah.
It's true. And also in my head, I'm just like, because I've been watching like more Fruits Basket. I'm like, oh, but and I'm like, oh, but it's not the same because Hachi's not a Toro. If it was like a Toro, if Hachi was Toro, she'd feel way differently. She'd be like, ah, yes, it is safe. Everything is safe. Everything's fine.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
Toro's
I
like
don't
that.
know. I don't know. I think that like she already knows about Hachi though.
Yeah, but she hasn't
Yeah, but
met
she hangs
her.
out with Shin.
True, but how
And
about she?
Shin loves Hachi.
He
Shin is
does.
like Shin will never ever say a bad thing about Hachi ever, and you know that Shin talks about Hachi.
I hope he does. I'm just like, do they actually do a lot of
I'm sure yes,
talking?
they do. They hang out.
True.
They don't just do things.
They don't just do it.
No, they don't.
True. Singer songwriter. Yeah, he probably talks about Hachi.
I think so. I think that she's very aware, and I'm sure Naoki has told Rira all about Hachi.
Yeah, when he finally meets her, because that happens in the next chapter.
It's the best.
It's so good.
It's the best.
He's so convinced she's like this like evil seductress.
I know. Like I love it. I love how dramatic Naoki is. Like he is such an underrated slept on character.
He's like Ayame from Fruits Basket. Sorry, I keep bringing it up.
Yeah. No, but he is. No, but he
He
is. That's
is,
who he
yeah.
reminds me of. Absolutely 100%.
And
But yeah, he's totally slept on.
yeah, when we were watching that episode where he like Ayame like shows up, for Yuki when he's having his
Uh-huh.
yeah, and
Uh-huh.
Shauna was like, I fucking love Ayame. I'm like, right? He's like here. Is like his brother's distressed and he's here and it's so great. I love
It's
it.
so great. He's so great. He's such a great character and so ahead of his time.
I know. Yeah, Ayame is great.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find us in the link tree on the Instagram, and there's a Tumblr, and it's called Yazwaverse. Yeah,
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye forever, guys.